So hello everyone, welcome to Nexus Learning. As I told you in the earlier part, this is the second part of the modeling tutorial where we'll learn about how to sweep uh, a certain cross section, how to use that particular sweep command. So it will be a combination of sweep and extrusion command which we used in the last video. Let me open up the whiteboard for you where I'll explain you what we are going to do. So as I told you earlier, we are going to use this particular drawing as our reference drawing. These two drawings basically. This is a very simple flange which is being used here. So instead of that, we will try to use this flange, or we will use this flange only first, and if the time permits, we'll go for this cross section and this flange. So how we are going to proceed? So let me open up a fresh whiteboard. I'll paste. Yeah. So first we have to understand the drawing, as I told you. So let me understand the drawing. Let us collaboratively understand this drawing. We have a pipe over here which has, let me show you, which has straight cross section over here, which has straight cross section over here and over here, and there is a curve. So if I draw only the middle portion of it, the cross section, I am not considering the flange. Both the flanges are not considered here. So how will it look? So it will look like something like a straight line, then a curve, and then the straight line. We have to understand that wherever the straight line ends, they have the tangency defined over here. So this curve and this line, the straight line, are tangent to each other. Again, this curve and this line are tangent to each other by default. This has the radius of 260 mm. Length of this and length of this is same, which is 150 mm. Later on we will define, first we'll generate a pipe, and if you look at this drawing, this is 5 to 10 and 5 to 90, that is difference is 80 mm. That means the thickness what we are looking here would be of 40 mm. So when we draw a circle, we are looking at the cross section, so this will be of 5. I'll show you how the thickness we can manage. So I'm sorry, it will not be 540, but we can define that. So either we can define the thickness, or we can draw, let's say from the front view, if I look, we'll draw 2 circles, and then we will sweep them along this particular length. So we are here to understand how the swept option works out for us in NX, and let's get started. So I'll generate a fresh file, a new file. We'll give the software a bit. There are some processes which are going on in the background, and that's why it is taking a certain amount of time. Otherwise it usually is faster. The name which I'm going to give is swept, because we are going to learn the swept option over here. Again, if you have any questions, any doubts, you can put them into the comment sections. I will try to answer the questions as early as possible. So we have to understand, so there are 3 axes over here. Again, there are 3 axes over here in NX. We are going to generate the curve on this particular plane, which is our ZX plane. So we'll be generating our curve over here. Sorry, something like this. And on our ZY plane, we'll be drawing our circle over here like this, and we'll generate a swept area between these 2. So that's how we are going to do it. So let's get started. What we'll do, we'll go to sketch. We'll sketch on the, as I told you, we'll sketch on the ZX plane. Okay, and as we know, we'll draw only the line of 150 mm first, then we will draw a circle which is of 260 radius. So we are going here with offset of 260. I hope you are able to see the changes, and somewhere around here, which will be tangent to this line. Okay, so the phi is, the radius will be 260, and the line which we are going to draw next is going to be somewhere here, and what will define is both this and this line's length are same. We'll trim the remaining section over here which is not required. Now this defines the line radius is 260, then the length of this line is 150, and that becomes our the guiding surface, or the guiding curves. Now what we'll do is, if we come here, we'll see the outer surface of this is 290, and the inner, the ID, is 210. We'll do the same thing. We'll draw the same 2 circles. We'll come here. We'll draw one with 290. We'll draw again with one with 210. We'll finish our sketch. Now if you go over here in more option, you'll see swept option. So what it says is swept creates a body by sweeping a section along one or more guides using various options to control the shape along the guide. So what it is going to do, as I told you, it is going to take this particular curve, it is going to consider this particular pink line as its guide, and it is going to sweep this circle along this guide from 0 till whatever length or till the end of this line. So sometimes it is defined as from 0% to 100% curve length. So that way also it can be defined. So we'll go to swept. Now it will ask us to select the curve, which in our case is this curve. Okay, so we'll do a modification over here. We'll remove the ID sketch. We'll delete that, and we'll go with only so apparently I did not select the curve, and that's why it threw me a pop-up box where it was asking me to select the curve. Now what we'll do is we'll sweep this curve. We have to select the curve, we have to select the guided lines, and it should have minimum 3 guides, and we will say okay. We'll say okay for time being, or let it be there. We will hide this. We'll go into sketch. We'll draw a sketch of a circle which has diameter of 210, and we'll finish it. Now what we'll do is we'll repeat the command of swept. We'll sweep this along this curve, and we'll say okay. We'll go to another window, we'll hide that, we'll bring that here, and now what we'll do is we will use the subtract command. So we have to subtract the ID body, the inner body, from the outer body, which will give us a shell. I hope you are able to visualize it. The next thing, which is the important thing, which I'm going to do is I'm going to save the work part. Now the next thing is I need to draw this flange. Now this flange has 50 mm depth. It is 360 by 360 square. It has 4 holes inside it, and how deep those holes are. So it has a 60, and the cross section of these holes, if you look at the cross section, it is something like this, which is 10 mm deep, which has diameter of 60 over here. It has diameter of 30 over here, and it is throughout the length. So this is going to be the cross section of this. So now we'll draw that. We'll use pattern command if we can, and we'll see. So we'll again go choose this. We'll go and we're going to sketch on the end of this face. What we'll do is now we are going to, instead of drawing drawing a rectangle manually, what we'll do is we'll use the rectangle command. So it gives us the power to how by choosing the center we can draw the rectangle. So we can convert the rectangle into, let's say, into a, I don't know why it is giving me this particular dimensions where it is showing that they are not constrained. It should not happen, but say okay, and we will select this curve, project that curve. Now My drawing is something like that. So if I hide this drawing and if I show it, so my drawing is something like that. Okay, I'll show that here. Now what I'll do is I'll extrude it. How much I need to extrude? I need to extrude it by 50 mm, and I need to extrude it on the other direction. I need to extrude it on the opposite direction, and it has to be united with this. So it is 50 mm, and the next thing is there are 4 holes. Now we can draw 4 holes or we can pattern them. What we'll do is we will make a pattern of those holes. Okay, we'll come here and I'll draw only one circle. What is the diameter? The diameter is 60, so it is 60 diameter. And where it is placed, so it is placed 260 here, 260 here, that is 130, 130 distance. So I'll define that distance in X direction, sorry, in Y direction. It is 130, and in X direction it is 130 again. Okay, I'll finish the sketch, and as I told you, it is not throughout hole, it is only 10 mm deep, so I'll extrude it by only 10 mm in this direction, and I'll not unite it, but I'll subtract it. And what will I get is this kind of feature. Now I need to draw another circle which will have diameter 30, and it will get extruded again in the opposite direction until next. So that means until the next surface, and it will be subtracted from it. Now I will do what I will do next is I will pattern these features. Okay, so I'll select this feature, and this feature. Okay, let me check once what has it done. Until next, it has selected. Until next, until selected. I'll select this, and so instead of until next, I'll go with this, because when I'm selecting until next, it is going till here, which is not exactly correct. So again, I'll go to pattern feature. I'll select these 2 features. I'll specify the vector as this. Sorry, I have to select the circle. I'll specify the vector as this, count and pitch. I'll say span, so list. Also count and pitch, that will be fine. So I would have 4 count with 90 degree apart from each other. So that would automatically pattern out those 4 holes without any extra effort be made. And the chamfer is on 4 corners is of the fillet is 20 mm. So I'll say it is 20 mm. I'll select this, I'll select this, I'll select this, and finally with this. It's okay. That way I'm done on one side. I'll check anything is remaining. Yeah, so there is a fillet, sorry, there is a chamfer of 10 mm. I'll apply here. So I'll go to chamfer, it is of 10 mm and it is being applied here. It's okay. Similar way I have to do it here, but this time I'll give chamfers in the drawing itself instead of after extruding the surface which I have given. So similarly I'll draw another rectangle with center points, which is again 360 by 360. I'm okay with that. I have chamfer of 10. My apologies. I have fillet of 20 mm. Sorry, got into full view. Something is not going right today, so we'll have 20 mm again and again. Yeah, 20 mm of fillet over here, over here, over here, and over here. And this time I'll select this curve as well. Yeah, project that curve. So this time there is no need to swept it, to give the fillets after the extrusion. It is already there. So I'll select extrusion, I'll select this curve. It is 50 mm deep on the other side, which is unite. So it'll get united. I'll go here. I'll repeat the same process which I have done to this cross section. So okay, something is not going right. Give me a moment. So as I told you, it is not working well. NX, I have to close it and restart the NX. So I suggest that if any background apps or some high-end application which are running at the back end when you are using NX or any CAD software, please shut them down. In my case, I had put some cases to be run in the background which I cannot close. So that's the reason I'm facing this issue. because if you have low memory in your RAM, that would create a trouble, and that would mess up your whole work which you have already done. And you should have a good habit of saving the work intermediately, so that your progress will not get lost anywhere. So next thing is, again, I'll go back, I'll create a sketch again, I'll say okay, I'll say fit. Again, if I go back, it is 260 by 260, that is 130, and it is 60. Yeah, something went. Yeah, it is 60. That is fine now. And the distance is from the center till the center is 130, and distance from the center to the center of this circle in X direction. I'm sorry, I put the same dimension. It should be in Y direction. We have already covered the X direction, so it should be in Y direction, and that is 130 again. Okay, so that is going to get extruded by 10 mm. But it got extruded in the upward direction. How to edit in that case? Simply select or double click it here. It will open up again the same menu. We'll just extrude them into negative direction, and instead of unite, we'll say subtract. That will subtract it. Now we'll go back. We'll create a sketch which is of a circle of diameter 30. We are good to go. We'll finish the sketch. We'll go back to the extrude command again. We'll reverse the direction. Okay. The scroll button is messing with me today, and instead of unite, we'll say it is subtract, and instead of the value, we'll say until selected. Until selected, that is this curve. I'll say okay. I'm good here. Now I'll go to pattern feature. I will select these two features by holding Control. And it is asking me to specify the vector. The vector is in this direction, 490, and I'll just check whether it is getting the correct one or not. Okay, I'm pretty much done, except the chamfer will be added over here, and what I'll do is I'll hide all the sketches, and I'll see that I'm done. So we have used the swept command, we have used some extrusion commands, we have used the fillet option, the trim option, then we have used the chamfer options, we have used the pattern features option. So we have gone into the multiple options which are available to us. So this this completes the part 2 of our modeling module. Stay tuned for the next module which we will be discussing in the upcoming videos. Thank you. Stay focused, keep learning, and do like, share, and subscribe this video.